A great deal of intelligence can be invested in ignorance when the need for illusion is deep. Roadmap to referendum. It's no gainsaying that Nigeria, being a sovereign country with diplomatic relationship with more than 100 countries, is respected and protected under the United Nations laws. And until she decides to partition herself using its internal laws, that's the Constitution, the United Nations cannot compel it to partition itself. The question then is, can President Buhari, decree a referendum? The answer is no, as the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, does not have provisions for that or secession. Then, should government hound and arrest and kill those seeking for self-determination as a result of the imbalance, inequality, and ineptitude of successive government? Again, I say no. If government address the problem that gave rise to all of this, you make the people irrelevant, those agitating for it irrelevant. So apart from shouting, really, if I must ask, what's the roadmap of the agitators for achieving self-determination or referendum? Scotland was able to conduct a referendum to determine its exit from the UK, ditto UK from EU, because such provisions are contained in their laws. Therefore, to achieve inclusion of these provisions in our constitution, we must look towards and interrogate credible people that can be elected not just into the National Assembly, but also into State House of Assembly and executive leadership positions that will truly represent the will and wishes of the people. Especially now that those who campaign with fiscal federalism and restructuring in 2015 are telling us in 2021 that they don't even understand the meaning, and that those of us asking for restructuring of the country want to destroy the country, despite setting up a committee headed by Governor El-Rufai to fashion out modalities for achieving restructuring. But anyway, DSS, I don't call anybody name. I'm not saying we should sit down and expect restructuring or referendum to be thrown on our laps, because those benefiting no go grey. All I'm saying is we have to navigate it using intelligence, intellectual discourse, and constitutional means. And I can assure you, if we work steadily at it, now time it will take. Stamara must call him Papa name. But if we force it and break away, the tendency that those countries urging us on now will not recognize us as a country is very rife. Examples abound. Somaliland, for example, 25 years ago, broke away from Somalia when war broke out in Somalia. Even though today, Somalia is a failed state and Somaliland is peaceful, no country in the world recognizes or do business with Somaliland, and they currently live on international aid, as their currency is also not recognized for trade, as citizens can only travel outside of their country on Somalian passports. Also, in 1974, North Cyprus, with the help of the Turkish army, broke away from South Cyprus, and 42 years later, no country in the world recognizes or do business with them. They also currently, live on international aid, and their currency definitely is not recognized for trade. As citizens are given Turkish citizenship to enable them travel out of their country, and they are currently agitating for a unification with the South. Another example is the breakaway region of South Ossetia and Abkhazia, which broke away from Georgia with the support of the Russians. Apart from Russian recognition, no other country recognizes or do business with them. Even though they currently travel on Russian passport, they are still referred to as Georgian. How about Eastern Ukraine that broke away from Ukraine? Even though they are still in control of their region 3 years down the line, they are still using Ukrainian currency, unrecognized by any country, and still referred to as Ukrainians. The list goes on and on. But however, it is irresponsible to rule out those agitating or calling for restructuring, or secession or referendum as rabble-rouser, as some state actors who want us to believe. Even though some opportunists can take advantage of the situation. Remember, between 1999 and 2004, we had Odua People's Congress led by Gani Adams and the movement for the actualization of the state of Biafra, led by Barrister Rafu Wazurike, demanding for the same thing that Sunday Igboho and independent people of Biafra, led by Nnamdi Kanu, are demanding for today. Rather than address the root cause of those agitations, fueled by the lack of fiscal federalism, inequality, and fairness that has been the lot of the Nigerian state since the Willings Commission of 1956 and 1957, that was set up to address the fears of the minority, and typical of government, Obasanjo's government, and akin to what this current government is doing today, arrested and put behind bars the agitation. And they were subsequently released, we all know. So today, if government like, let them lock up Sunday Igboho, Nnamdi, Kanu and their supporters, throw them behind bars and throw the key away. But if they fail to address the constitutional lacuna that consistently leads to such agitations, in a few years from now, the Nigerian state will again be confronted by the same problem, probably in a bigger and broader form. So you ask me, what's my advocacy? My advocacy today is that the federal government, in collaboration with the National Assembly, should, as a matter of urgency, visit the Pro-NACO and the El-Rufai report on restructuring and incorporate same into the current ongoing constitutional amendment instead of the jamboree of public hearing embarked upon by the National Assembly. The Electoral Act also should be amended to accommodate innovative electronic voting and transmission of election results electronically. At least let the president use that to do a parting gift for the country. And as the only advocate general of the federation, the federal government should stop lying to itself, as a man who lies to himself and listens to his own lies would find it difficult to distinguish the truth within him or around him. Now that the federal government has shown capacity to rein in anybody that violates our local laws within or outside Nigeria, let them use the same capacity, technology, vigor, and collaboration to rein in those Boko Haram, kidnapping bandits, headsmen within and outside Nigeria from our highways, farmland, and bushes, so that our country can be safe again, instead of doing photo ops with bandits with gun slings on their shoulder and all sending Sheikh Gumi to negotiate with bandits or even propose amnesty for them. A crime, I say, is a crime, irrespective of where the culprits are from. Failure wish, we might just be postponing the doomsday, as there are two ways to be fooled. One is to believe what's not true. The other is to refuse to believe what is true. Those in support say aye, and those against say nay. The ayes have it.